What if your life purpose is already searching for you while you are trying to find it? What if it works by laws opposite to everything you have been taught? Today, we will talk about the strange physics of human desires and why the most important discoveries about yourself happen when you stop looking for them. Human desire operates by unusual laws. It can arise from nothing, grow from negation, and disappear upon attainment. You can dream about something specific for years, get it, and suddenly realize you actually wanted something completely different. Desire resembles a quantum particle that changes its properties from the very fact of observation. While you are not trying to catch and define it, it exists in all possible states simultaneously. But as soon as you focus your attention on it, it instantly collapses into something concrete, often quite unlike what it seemed at first. Interestingly, the strongest desires often arise not from lack, but from abundance. When your life is filled with opportunities, a special subtle craving emerges for something that cannot be bought or organized. It is in this space of fullness that something genuine often sprouts. Schopenhauer understood this strange nature of human striving when he wrote that we swing like a pendulum between need and boredom. But he did not foresee the most interesting thing, that it is precisely in moments of complete satisfaction that the subtlest and deepest desires are born. The gravity of incompleteness. In physics, there are black holes that draw everything around into themselves. In the human psyche, unfinished business and unrealized potentials operate. They create an invisible gravity that distorts the space around them. That childhood dream of becoming an astronomer, which you brushed off as unrealistic, continues to live somewhere in your subconscious. It influences your choice of films, books, conversations. You unconsciously seek ways to get closer to the sky, even if you work as an accountant. These unfinished lines do not always require direct realization. Sometimes it is enough to find a metaphorical way to embody them. Astronomy can turn into a passion for photographing the night sky, philosophical reflections on infinity, or simply a special way of looking at the world broadly and with perspective. Jung called this active imagination, when unrealized parts of the personality continue to live in the psyche as autonomous complexes. But unlike his patients who struggled with these shadows, modern people can learn to dance with them. The technique of emotional echolocation. Bats navigate in the dark using echolocation. They send out sound signals and analyze the echo. Humans can use a similar technique to navigate the inner space. Every one of your actions, words, choices causes emotional reverberations. Some decisions resonate with something deep inside. Others hit internal walls and return distorted. By learning to hear these echoes, you can move in the right direction, even when logically everything seems uncertain. Emotional echo works more subtly than ordinary feelings. It manifests in the quality of dreams, changes in appetite, a special sense of time. When you do something resonant with your nature, the day passes differently. There is lightness, even if the tasks are difficult. The paradox of reverse movement. Sometimes, to reach a goal, you need to move in the opposite direction. This principle is well known to physicists and athletes, but rarely applied to life planning. To become a writer, you may first need to stop writing and gain experience in other fields. To find love, sometimes it is worth learning to be happy alone. To reveal creative potential, a period of strict discipline and routine may be required. Reverse movement does not mean abandoning the goal. It is a strategic maneuver that allows you to approach the desired outcome from an unexpected side. Life has a complex topology where the shortest path rarely turns out to be a straight line. The phenomenon of random resonances. In music, there is the phenomenon of sympathetic vibration when one string starts to sound from the oscillations of another. A similar mechanism works in a person's life. You may accidentally come across a book, conversation, or place that causes an inner resonance, seemingly without any reason. These random resonances are often more important than logically justified decisions. They point to something that your consciousness has not yet managed to realize, but your subconscious has already recognized as important. The ability to notice and trust such resonances develops with experience. At first, they seem like insignificant coincidences. Over time, you begin to understand that this is a way of communication between different levels of your psyche. Heraclitus's idea of hidden harmony turns out to be more practical than it seemed. What the ancient philosopher saw in the cosmos happens in the microcosm of the personality. Logos works through synchronicities, the archaeology of the future. Ordinary archaeology studies the past through artifacts, but there is a special practice of the archaeology of the future when you explore your potential selves through traces they leave in the present. Your spontaneous fantasies, dreams, random sketches, fragments of conversations that you remember without reason can be messages from that version of yourself you can become. These traces of the future are scattered across the present, but you need to be able to collect and interpret them. The future I does not exist in a fixed form. It is more like a cloud of possibilities that gradually condenses into a specific form depending on your decisions. But this condensation process can be felt in advance through subtle signals. The metaphysics of personal gravity. Each person creates an invisible field around themselves that attracts certain events, people, opportunities. This field is formed from internal beliefs, emotional patterns, habits of thinking and acting. By changing your internal configuration, you automatically change what your life attracts. But this process works slowly and unpredictably. There can be a significant delay between internal change and external manifestations. Personal gravity acts like a filter of reality. From the infinite flow of possibilities, you automatically select those that resonate with your inner state. Changing this filter means starting to live in a different world, even if geographically you remain in the same place. Life purpose often turns out to be not so much in what you do, as in who you become in the process of this creation. Spinoza spoke about conatus, the inner striving of everything to preserve its being. But human conatus is peculiar. It preserves itself through constant transformation, creating fields of attraction for new possibilities around itself.